And so see an attorney if you're in that position, because there already are several cases where the court has said you can't throw them out. And the idea is for everybody who's going into foreclosure to get an attorney to keep from getting thrown out of their house, citing the previous cases. This way you'll stick it to the bankers, because they won't be able to take your house and they won't be able to collect a dime, and for all intents and purposes you can live in there forever.
Well, we need to get copies of those cases so we can spread it around, because I've got a few men here that are asking questions. They've got military men that say, you know, I've got civilian neighbors around me and they're losing their houses. If it gets any worse, we may be the only family on the block, as there are already, of the 22 houses in this neighborhood, there are 16 that are in foreclosure. 9 are vacant right now. Therefore, with the other...
Well, look, you know, I covered this, Drew. I covered this either in a link, I think it was a link, in one of the last few issues. And if you go look for it, you'll find it. What's that?
I said I'll have to go back and read them all, because I scanned through them as best I can, but here this last couple of weeks I have been just inundated with other things.
Well, that's why I said for you to do it, because I know you're inundated. But I am more inundated than you are. I mean, you know, when I was in the Army, I used to have the luxury of getting up at 5. Now I get up at 3:30 and I work to 10 o'clock at night. And there's, you know, I thought it was going to get better. It gets worse.
I hit the deck the other morning at 04:10, and I says, even when I was in the Marine Corps, the only time I got up at 0400 hours was when I was in Vietnam or Cambodia.
Yeah, well, I you know, used to stay up all night sometimes, like you did. But the point is that we're very busy little beavers, and if you could do that, those guys would appreciate it. But the court cases are in there. They're either in a link or in the written form. And one is in Massachusetts.
I've got a stack here where I printed them out. I print out every copy, so I have got my own hard copy, and I go through them and highlight different things to talk about during the week on to bring out your points. And I may just have overlooked that. We do have a caller here, and if the caller has something to say on the financial market, I'd appreciate it. If you've got something else to say about the mess in Colleen, if you'd hold off for about an hour, I'd appreciate it. Caller.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I know you have answered this question already, but I wanted to make sure it was still the same answer. How high do you see silver going?
Well, I think that gold here has a good shot at going to 1,200 to 1,250 before the end of the year. And if that were to happen, I would think that silver would challenge $20 where it went before. If gold were to break higher, silver would break higher. By the end of next year, I expect somewhere between $1,650 and $3,000 on gold, probably $2,000 to $2,500, and more nearly probably $2,300 or $2,400, which retraces official inflation since 1980. What would that do to silver? It would certainly send it over $50. It might even go to $100. The problem with silver is this. Silver is a thin market, and we have two major banks, J.P. Morgan Chase and Hong Kong Shanghai Bank, and they are illegally shorting silver. And the CFTC, the Commodity Futures Trading Corporation, are allowing them to do that. And that's the problem that silver has right now. The market is usually fairly to very thin, and it's not heavily traded, so they can get away with that stuff. And that's why silver, which should be selling around $30 right now, is not.
Thank you for your answer. I have another question about the Ukraine. Do you know what's going on there?
Well, I only can guess, and you're probably referring to the disease, maybe the H1B1.
Yes.
To have an occurrence like that, they had to have, I don't know whom, but somebody had to have introduced the disease to the area deliberately to infect people. I mean, you just don't have that kind of an incident with that kind of a virus. It just doesn't happen. I mean, people get it. People get sick. Sometimes they die. But to have that kind of overwhelming incidence of illness smacks heavily that somebody did it deliberately.
So would it be headed this way?
I don't know that. I'm really not professionally qualified to tell you that. I don't know. I'd be guessing. And I'm guessing about the incidents there, but, I mean, logic leads you to reason that those kind of things don't happen. I mean, this is not the bubonic plague that raged over Europe in 1380 and killed half the people on the continent. I mean, this is different. This is a man-made virus made by the United States government and manufactured by other pharmaceutical companies to herd people around and make them do things, and also to cull the population.
Do you know if the Ukrainians have had their swine flu shots or not yet?
No, I do not. I can't answer the question. I know one thing. They're pretty deeply in debt, and they're in serious financial trouble. And, there's a good portion of the Ukraine that is filled with Russians as well. And so I don't know what significance that has to the disease, but it just didn't happen by chance, believe me.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You're very welcome. Mr. Chapman from New York, we have a question here. Someone comes in and he says, Mr. Chapman, back in the early July, I was given a printout. Obviously, if I gave you the name of the printout, you may know exactly where I work. But the printout showed me that there were 410 to 420 institutions that the FDIC were monitoring and placed on their problematic list. Obviously, at this time, you know that there's 115 banks have failed so far this year, and approximately every Friday for the rest of this year, it looks like they're going to close anywhere from 3 to 4 banks. This is going to be continuing. My question, Mr. Chapman, is none of the small banks throughout America has caused this mess. Yet, the congressmen and the senators aren't even looking to helping the small bankers out there who are being drugged down by these elite banks. Is there any hope that maybe the people can come forth and do something about helping the small banks and make the congressmen and senators stand up to help them?
Unfortunately, no, because all those congressmen and senators have been bought and paid for. And it's a tragedy, but that's exactly the way it is. And it's something we're going to have to live with. And they get paid off by banking and insurance companies and Wall Street and transnational corporations. They don't care about you. It's just as simple as that. And if they get kicked out of office, they'll leave with several $1 million in a pension. And so they really don't care. And you've lost your government. You no longer have it. I mean, look what happened to 1207, the bill to audit the Fed and investigate it. It was gutted. And this Representative Watt from Charlotte, North Carolina area, I believe, where Bank of America is, he gutted the bill. I mean, is there any way that we can get any control of our government through the legal means? And the answer is no. And it only leaves one thing left. There's going to be revolution in America if they keep on doing what they're doing. Because unemployment's going to continue, at best, to go sideways. It'll stay at 21.4% to 22%. It could increase over the next couple of years, depending upon how much stimulus and how much lending are done. Now, what's going to happen